My dad posted pictures of me in the hospital and used my trauma to get views online, so I walked out of his life for good. 2 years later, he showed up begging me to come home saying he changed, so I made his prove he wasn't faking it. My dad can best be described as that one dad from a bad sitcom. The gym sculpted body, the year-round spray tan, the deep V shirts, and the flat refusal to accept he was over 40. He was the most popular dad in my school, and I got invited to everything. When we went shopping together, he always helped me discover a new sense of style. But when I entered the 5th grade, things started to change. When the girls in my grade saw him pick me up from school, they started giggling whenever I was nearby. Your dad's built like a Greek statue. I never knew I was into older guys before seeing your dad, so I told my dad, expecting him to be as disgusted as me. Instead, his face lit up. He started flexing his forearm. Really? He said, grinning like it was the biggest compliment in the world. From there, the outfits he wore to pick me up got tighter and skimpier. Muscle tanks, shirts so thin you could see everything, gym shorts that barely covered anything. I watched half the girls in my grade ogle him, and one even accidentally spilled her water bottle down his chest with a smirk. It was like the attention consumed him. He'd flirt with waitresses, bus drivers, delivery women, always the same slow smile, the fake laugh, the flex of whatever muscle was closest. But there was one good thing. He always made me laugh. Whether I'd had a rough day or gotten a bad grade, he knew the right thing to say to cheer me up. But other than making me laugh or feel good about myself, he was never there for me. I remember being 12, lying in bed, hoping my last baby tooth would fall out just so I'd have an excuse to get his attention. I was 17 when my girlfriend broke up with me. I just wanted some real reassurance, so I told my dad, expecting a drop of wisdom. Instead, he ordered me a whole new wardrobe that belonged on a nightclub bouncer and told me that when it arrived, we'd hit the clubs in Miami and he'd buy me a fake ID. That's when the loneliness in my chest became impossible to ignore. I started spending every night staring at my white wall, wrapping my arms around myself to pretend someone was holding me. But you can't fill the void from a neglectful parent with more alone time. So I did what every responsible 17-year-old would do. I agreed to go to a party with my friends. As usual, the pre-gaming was 10 times better than the night itself, mainly because it never happened. My friend Mason was the designated driver, the only one not drinking. Or so we thought, until he crashed right into a tree. Luckily, he was the only one hurt, with only mild injuries. Still, it left me shaken. So when I got to the hospital, I did the most insane thing in the world. I called my dad. By the time he arrived, I was in tears and expected him to hold me, to be a real father for once. Instead, he whipped out his phone to take a selfie before passing me a protein bar from the vending machine. And maybe it was because his shirt was practically hanging open, or that you could see way too much of him. But either way, the photo went viral. And the next day, we woke up to CPS knocking on our front door. I nearly had a heart attack when I saw the social worker standing there. My dad, though, just switched into flirt mode. Her name was Kayla, and it was obvious she was into him from the second he answered the door with his robe hanging open. He invited her in, offering coffee and flashing that smile. I sat on the couch, praying she'd see through the act, but she barely looked around, asked a few basic questions, and left after 10 minutes, walking to her car with a stupid grin on her face. So much for child protection. The second she drove away, my dad's smile vanished. He turned to me with fury in his eyes. "This is your fault," he hissed. "You think I don't know you're jealous of me? You probably reported me yourself for attention." Those words confirmed what I'd always feared, that he saw me as competition rather than his son. The next day at school was a nightmare. The viral photo had spread everywhere. Kids made fake accounts pretending to be my dad. Others asked if he was available for private training. And that was only the beginning of what he was willing to do to me, because what he pulled next, dragging me to his networking event and handing me to his boss, was so much worse than a photo. And I still hadn't found out what he'd been quietly telling my own friends behind my back. Click here to watch part 2 of the story.